welcome to Motor Mouth, brought to you by the Boyertown Museum of Historic Vehicles. I'm Kendra.
I'm Dan.
We're outside on this lovely summer evening. Actually, behind us is the Boyertown Museum's original 1872 Jeremiah Swinehart Carriage Factory. A really neat building. We're not going to go inside tonight, but I will mention that in September, we will be opening up the restored carriage factory. So just a little tease of the outside of the building and how nice and pretty it is. This has been a long time coming. So that's in September. We'll give you more updates as we get closer to that. We have some other events going on before then. In July, our third Saturday event is an all-weekend event, actually. We're going to have a Hoods Up weekend in July, the 18th and 19th, Saturday and Sunday. And we did this back in March, and it was really popular. We had a lot of people come through the museum, and we're going to do it again in July. So come on out to the air-conditioned gallery.
Yes, air conditioned. That's always good this time of year.
That's key. That's key right there. And basically during normal museum hours, 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m., we will have the hoods open on most of our cars and trucks. I think last time we had about 30-some open. And we got some really neat engines in here. So come on out and check them out. We'll have some volunteers throughout the gallery giving you some extra insight into those.
I'll be here. I should be. In fact, since the last time, we've done some research, and so we're even more knowledgeable than we were. And I kind of found out stuff about the electric vehicles, the motors on them. So that's something we normally don't talk about.
Yeah.
But there you go.
And, now that we had a weekend where they were all open, I think we all saw things that we maybe never noticed before, too.
Yes, and had those questions. We didn't know the answers, but we've researched them.
We're working on answers. We're working on answers.
Yes.
And the other big date coming up, of course, is our 50th annual Duryea Day. Museum's turning 50 this year, and so is Duryea Day. And that's going to be Saturday, September 5th. It's always a Saturday of Labor Day weekend. So that's coming up. We're hoping, again, for great weather like last year. And last year we had over 600 cars. So cars, trucks, and motorcycles. So we're hoping to repeat that success. And we'll get some Pennsylvania built things too, right?
Yes, we are. We're trying to focus on Pennsylvania built vehicles because that's what the museum's about. And just in the past week and a half, I've had two people I know going to bring their vehicles, and quite uncommon, both of these vehicles. So it's something you don't see at your normal car show.
Yeah, it'll be great. That's a great event. We filmed there last year. I think that was technically our first episode of this show.
Yep.
So.
That was our rookie debut or whatever.
Oh, we're turning a year old soon.
I feel like a veteran now.
So we hope to see you all there. And I don't know, I'm trying to think. That's pretty busy already. Later on in the show, we're going to take a look at a 1961 Boyertown-built truck that was recently kind of the star of our last major event, which was in June, our food truck fair. The truck stops here. A huge success, our food truck fair. And obviously, we weren't able to tape the whole show from there, but we were able to tape a segment on that lobster truck and with the owner. And it's a great story. They did a great job. They sold out of lobsters.
Because they had great lobster rolls.
They did.
One. Yes, they were very good.
I think it was bread, lobster, and butter. That was about it. There was no filler. They were amazing. And said it was their most successful day ever of selling food.
I think that's because you don't get lobster out of food trucks around here. Maine, you can probably go down to the convenience store and get lobster, but
I think you can go to McDonald's and get lobster in Maine.
lobster.
But they did a great job. He said he brought 60 pounds of lobster and they sold out.
Wow. So
it's a lot of lobster.
no.
So it was a great event, and we hope that you all were able to make it. If not, you'll get a little peek at some of what we did earlier this month.
You know what? What is that rumble? What is that rumble? Whoa!
Ooh!
What's this? We're going to be talking about something. This is our introduction to it, if you can still hear me. And we're going to be discussing some things here, and this is our Exhibit A here. So why don't we go over and talk to these people?
Let's do it. This is Bob Capps and Jonathan Capps. And what did you bring here tonight?
We have a 1965 Shelby Cobra replica. It's a kit from Factory 5, and took us about a year to put it together. And it was a real adventure for my son and I.
Okay. And it's an adventure, meaning what? I mean, it's a kit, so there was no rusted bolts, I'm assuming. Were there any rusted bolts? No. It's probably all stainless steel and stuff. But it's still, you built it together. Now, I'm going to ask Jonathan, when you got the car, I mean, what is it, in boxes or?
Yeah, it was the body, the frame, and 38 boxes of parts.
38.
It was like Christmas morning.
Oh, a wonderful Christmas
Yeah.
morning, you know? And so, but it wasn't the whole car. You have to supply something with it, correct?
Yeah, we had to supply our own drivetrain,
Mm-hmm.
and there's actually companies out there that have kits for the kit.
Kits for the kit.
Kit for the kit with
What-
a drivetrain.
It shows how popular this is.
Yeah, it's one of the most popular ones in the world.
And I went on, I was talking to you earlier, Bob. I went on their website and I was looking. They built thousands of these cars in the last 17 years, something like that. So
Yeah,
it's in the late
I
90s.
think our number was 9,853.
Okay, so now how long did it take you to put this together?
Well, I was telling you a story a little earlier. We received the kit in a 53-foot box truck
Okay,
on May 22nd of 13. And Jonathan is a senior in high school. His prom was on May 10th of 14.
okay.
And we set a goal that he was going to drive that to his prom. And guess what?
You got it.
He drove it to the prom.
Were you the hit of the prom?
I sure was.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
sure was.
Yeah, I can imagine this. Okay, I can just remember when I was a senior in high school.
Can you remember that far
I
back?
I didn't even have a car yet. Yeah, I was out of high school when I had my first car, but that's besides the point. So what size of engine? What kind of engine? Drivetrain? What is that?
We
underneath?
put a Ford Racing, it's a 306, it's a 5-liter stroked.
Mm-hmm.
It generates about 340 horsepower.
Okay.
We put a T5 5-speed transmission in it, a racing clutch, a Muncie rear, 8.8-inch rear, and that complemented the kit that we got in the truck.
Okay.
From Factory 5.
Okay. And so it sounded good, right? Right, Kendra? Didn't it?
Oh, it sounded great.
It sounded rumble. Now, before you drove up, when you first started it back there, we heard it, heard this little rumble. And it's like, wow, this is great.
Yep.
Yeah, so, yeah, it sounds nice. Now, okay, so it's a father-son thing. You worked together on this. Was there was everything kind of nice while you were working, or any fist fights, or
We had a
you get
couple.
grounded or something?
We had a couple like hits in the road a little bit. We'd
Okay.
have to pull each other aside and say, "Listen, you got to take your time and do this," or he'd say, "You got to hurry up on this
Okay.
this little situation." But
You
know,
kind of held each other accountable that way, I guess.
yeah.
which
In the
is good.
beginning, it was a little rough, but towards
Mhm.
the end, we knew each other and made a good team, and we got things done.
Well,
Yeah.
we had certain strengths. He's a detail guy,
Okay.
really good with the electrical. And a comment he made to his mother was, "Dad and I make a good team. He keeps us moving, and I make sure he doesn't skip any steps."
Okay. Okay. So as a father, you did grow closer together for this.
No question
Yeah.
about it.
And I've heard that and read about that in a lot of these cars that it's a father-son rebuild or something like that, and I think that's really neat. So, okay, so it's a Friday night. It's a beautiful night. Who gets to drive it?
Either.
Or is that where the fist fight starts?
No. He does a great job of driving it. I
Mm-hmm.
actually trained him to drive stick on my Porsche.
Okay. Okay.
And he does a great job. But in his words, he loves to have me drive him around.
Okay.
There's just something about having your dad drive you around in a cool car that you
Yeah.
built. Just
Okay.
going cruising, you know?
He didn't drive you to the prom, I hope.
No.
No. Okay. Okay. Just checking. Yeah.
Now, he,
So-
he drove up. We actually have a video of him driving up and helping his date out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with these side pipes, they're running about 450, 500 degrees.
Right.
So when he pulled up for the prom, his date was dressed in this beautiful gown, but we had to make sure that she got over the pipe so we didn't burn her or the
Absolutely.
gown.
Yeah.
It was a show in itself.
It,
Getting her out.
it was a show in itself. She actually came to the house and practiced getting out of the car
Oh, okay. So
to
everything
make sure we
was thought
didn't
out.
make sure we didn't burn her when we got her out.
That was good thinking right there. Very good.
Another team effort.
Yeah.
So is this just used for street driving, or do you ever take it to a racetrack?
We haven't raced it yet. We're going to track it this summer
Okay.
over in Jersey, in Melville.
Okay.
But we do show it. And we've showed it 3 times and we've trophied twice.
Okay. Well, I can see why. From I haven't looked at it real close yet, but it looks spotlessly clean. Everything's just right. So.
Well, we keep track, and there's 1,200 rivets
Okay.
that we had to drill and put pop rivets in for all the sheet metal. The kit, you don't have to do any welding. And then the rest is bolt. Was there 1,500 bolts or so?
1,500 bolts.
Okay.
Hand cranked. The rivets were hand drilled. We went through like, I don't know, 25, 30 eighth-inch drill bits.
Okay. And it's a fiberglass body on it,
Correct.
right? So, I mean, is it hard, like lining up the doors or the trunk lid or the hood, or is that kind of all part of the kit? They made it right.
Well, they made it close, but they say that you could be within a 1/16.
Okay.
Now, we didn't do the paint. Jonathan and I did everything but the paint.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a place in North Wales that we used. They had a really good reputation working with fiberglass.
Okay.
So we used them to do the paint and the final fits on the pieces.
Now, when you get the body, that's probably in a gel coat. Is there any damage to that? I mean, did you see any like scratches? Do you have to worry about that stuff, or is it just ready to go pretty
Not
much?
particularly. I mean, you can see the seams of where the different body panels were
Right.
put together, and that's what's pretty rough. But other than that, come from the factory, it's a very clean
Yeah.
body.
Yeah, it's a clean body, and the shop we used, if you're familiar with fiberglass, which I know you are, I mean, to get it that straight and that smooth, they
Right.
spent some time on doing a lot of sanding and filler and just
Yeah.
touching things up to make it right.
So.
We told me one of the right. Did you notice our license plate?
Yes, I saw that, and I also saw the handle for the trunk is, goes through the license plate. So, is that something you guys kind of thought up, or is that just the way
Yeah,
it
well,
worked out?
people were complaining on the older kits
Right.
that the rears were a little high where the trunk area was to be able
Right.
to fit the plate. So they made it to fit a European plate, and then guys were complaining that they couldn't fit their plates.
Okay.
So you had to get a little,
Creative.
a little
A little
creative.
creative. And that's exactly what we did.
But the fantasy, I like that too.
We couldn't believe when we were looking through the website for the plates that nobody had taken that. You go into the website and you throw in different combinations of letters and
Right.
and we put this in and said, just try this, and there it was.
Oh, it's not a manly name. Most guys want real manly names for their hot rods. So.
Well, I
But
think-
you
I
know,
think fantasy
it fits.
It
It
fits.
works.
It
Yeah.
fits.
Yep.
It does. It works. And you were talking about performance. This car is about 6.2 pounds per horsepower. It's 2,100 pounds,
Okay.
340 horse, and 0 to 60. They claim right around 4 or a little less, 4 seconds.
Okay.
So it's quick, to say the least.
Oh yeah. You get fuel mileage, or don't we talk about that?
No,
It's actually not too bad.
Yeah, Jonathan goes to college up at Penn College up in Williamsport,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
and
Did you know that?
I did not know that. Let's talk to you later.
and our company's been recruiting there for 25 years. So it's but
Okay.
at any rate, toward the end of the year, he said, "Dad, I've been talking to my teachers and my friends about the car. Would you drive it up to Williamsport?" So naturally, your son makes a request.
Right.
I drove it up to Williamsport, And I got almost 18 miles to a gallon of gas
Okay.
on the turnpike and Interstate 80.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a lot of highway driving there,
Yeah.
so that helps. So.
Well, in fifth gear, 70 miles an hour is only about 2,000 RPM, so
Okay.
it's just barely, just barely turning. But the morning I left, it was 37 degrees.
Okay.
It was a little chilly getting started.
Yeah. There's a lot of engine heat comes through, or is there a heater on here?
There's no heater,
Okay.
but there is a fair amount of heat that
Yeah.
comes
So.
along the sides.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for bringing your car. It's great to see it. You know, I've talked to you on the phone, I've emailed you, but now I didn't see this car until right before we started filming here. I walked back and looked at it, so this is kind of a neat little treat for us. So thanks for bringing it.
Well, we appreciate you having us.
Yeah,
And,
well, this is pretty cool.
Yeah, thank you for the invite.
Oh, yeah.
Any like desire to do it again? Do another one?
He wants to. I said give it a couple of years.
They have a 33 Ford hot rod.
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty cool kit.
So are we going to see this at Dorrier Day?
Of course.
When's that?
That's the Saturday before Labor Day. The museum puts the show on, and so
If you send me an invite, we'll have it here for you.
there you go. That's your job.
Fabulous. That's my cue.
Yeah, you work here, I don't. So, okay.
Well, thank you very much.
Yep.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Good morning, Michael Marceau.
Hey, Michael. Well, welcome to the Boyertown Museum's first ever food truck fair. We're having this on Saturday, June 20th. So we're doing a little on-the-spot reporting before the event starts. And we have a really special truck. It's returned home, we like to say. What did you bring today?
We brought a 1961 International built by Boyertown. We brought it back for its birthday for the first time since 1961. Go ahead.
Yeah, this truck, technically, yes, it was kind of built as a food truck. It was a mobile canteen unit, but it was built for a very special agency, let's say.
It was built in 61 for the civil defense, and it was a civil defense mobile feeding unit for the state of Maine. There was 14 of them built here in Boyertown, and 14 went to each county out of the 16 counties in the state of Maine. For some reason, 2 counties didn't get any.
Oh, that's a shame.
And when we purchased the truck, we found it on eBay in Massachusetts with 2 layers of blue house paint, and it was a jerk chicken truck, Jamaican jerk chicken truck. So we brought it home and started to work on it, and pretty soon there wasn't much left, so we kept working. And then we found the emblem on the front of the truck, the international emblem. That's how we found the Boyertown Museum, because we called here, and I don't know who we talked to. Maybe it was you, because we were researching the original colors of the emblem. And during that period of time, we met Kendra and we found out about the museum, and then we put a little more love in the truck.
Yeah.
Because we wanted to keep it, and now it's here.
And now it's came back home
Yes.
for the day, which is awesome. You guys, you don't live just down the street. They came all the way from Maine. You traveled farther than anyone else today. And I'll also note that they were here first, even though you had the farthest to come.
It was a short night.
Yeah, they're brewing coffee for them in the museum right now because you poor people are going on not a lot of sleep, I guess.
Well, no, and then we're going home tonight, and that truck will be back to work tomorrow morning. It'll have a different crew.
All right, good.
All right.
They need a break.
These guys are going to need a nap.
I think so.
So,
But now, this truck, it was originally like a blue and a white. Did you know it was a civil defense truck when you bought it, or was that something you kind of discovered along the way?
we found out from you.
Okay, all right.
We learned that it was a civil defense truck through the front emblem, and we tried to figure out how to restore that to its original colors. And then you sent us the original photo of when it left the factory in 1971.
Yeah.
And that's how we found out it was a civil defense truck.
Yeah.
And since then, we did a little more homework of what we could find. And we've met 2 or 3 of the older guys that for firefighters in different towns that had driven these trucks, and they've stopped by, and we've had fried clams with them and heard stories.
Now, what town you're from? Bunkport, Maine. And we had to ask him before we started if you had any famous customers up there in Kenny Bunkport.
Well, last Saturday, our only really famous customer was Barbara Bush, and we did her 90th birthday last Saturday.
Wow.
And we weren't invited to the compound, but we did get to go to the golf course. So
It's a start. It's a start.
and we met Jeb and George W.
Oh, gosh,
So
that's
it
funny.
was kind of a fun day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the truck has had a lot of special events. I have another truck that we're building just for catering.
That's right. You said
So-
you had another one.
Yes.
Same. It's an international
Same
as
truck.
well. Yep.
Same truck.
Yeah. So, you know, we had found the blueprints to this truck, and we think most of them were built for the state of Maine. The ones that they did build here. We think.
Well,
We're not sure.
I think the same thing
Yeah.
probably because you told me.
Yeah.
But it's as I understand it, there was 14 of these built, and
Wow.
I know where 4 of them are. That's all I can speak for.
Yeah.
We've
who knows
heard
how many are left? Who knows?
Well, I know one of them is not going anywhere because it's got stuff piled on it in the junkyard. I have pictures. So.
Well, this is great. We're so happy you came. What did we miss? Important to say about this truck.
Well, the truck, during its restoration as a food truck, it's built basically like a boat. It has 2 of everything. It has like all 12-volt power and all 110-volt power. It has 12-volt inverters and generators and 120-volt generators. It has septic, fresh water, hot water, all LED lighting. And we've updated it about as much as you can update it.
Right.
The whole drivetrain, transmission, the whole truck is all original.
Wow.
And when we got it 4
Amazing.
years ago, it had 13,000 miles. And now it has about
13.
15,000.
Wow.
So we haven't used it much.
Yeah.
So.
You put on a lot of miles this weekend, I know.
Well, no,
But
that was on the
actually,
trailer.
No, you didn't, because it was on a trailer. That's right.
I didn't want to take the chance on that. Would be
It's
mean.
a long
to-
trip.
It would probably make it,
Yeah.
but that would be mean to the truck.
Yeah.
So.
She's done her duty.
Yes. we drive it a half a mile a day from our shop,
Okay.
from what we use for a commissary to where it works.
Okay.
You know, and it gets cleaned and pressure
Yep.
washed every day.
Yep.
So
And you serve delicious, I cannot wait, lobster rolls, we know. So it's like seafood mainly.
yes, we own a seafood business, and and on the truck we have lobsters, clams, haddock. Ooh, hold on, I'll read it to you. Scallops,
Swordfish, I
swordfish,
saw.
clam cakes, our homemade clam cakes. Debbie should be out here doing this. And now we're into the food thing.
Seafood, that's
Yeah.
what is important.
Right.
So I know that everyone in town has been talking about this truck. So I hope that means you'll run out today. I hope that's a good thing.
Well, that would be really cool.
I hope so.
If we could run it, there's enough food here to feed a lot of people. They can't all have lobster rolls,
Oh,
but
darn.
there's a lot of, somebody might have to suffer their way through some fried clams
Oh,
or scallops
darn.
or something.
I think we'll manage.
Yes, we'll get through.
Well, I can't thank you guys enough for being here and for talking to us on the show.
So,
And I know this is going to air after the food truck, so I hope that we saw all you at home today and that you had a chance to have something from our good old 1961 civil defense truck that came home to visit today. Thanks,
it
Michael.
was nice meeting you, Kendra.
Thanks for coming.
And if you do it again, we'll be back.
Oh, awesome, awesome.
So, sounds good.
Thanks.
Okay, we just saw a beautiful Cobra kit car. Well, we have another one, and this is kind of a little different. It's not a Cobra, it's a Ford product, but what we have here is a 1970 Mercury Cougar, and this is Ethan driving it, and we'll have a chat with him. And there it is, kids with their
Kids
cars.
today.
Yeah, come on out. So thanks for coming here again, Ethan.
Hey,
and
Ethan.
we're going to be talking about your car, of course, and we've rehearsed this. And now Ethan's a volunteer to the museum, so I knew he had this car. We had this great conversation a couple months ago, and he basically gave me a tour of his car. I guess
He
that's
brought it to our cruise in May.
okay, which I wasn't here. I was sick.
Oh, that's right.
But
All
anyway,
right, never mind. I take it back.
yeah. And in fact, okay. So anyway, so he's going to tell us a little bit about his car. Now, I already told the viewers it's a 70 Mercury Cougar, and that's as far as I went. So how old are you? 18?
I'm 19.
You're 19, I'm sorry. And so you've had this car for about a year or so?
4 years now.
4 years, okay. So I'm getting wrong with the numbers, so I'll quit that.
That's all right.
But So you bought this car, was it a running car when you bought it?
It did run when I bought it.
Okay, but you've made a bunch of changes to it, improvements, not changes, improvements, right?
Improvements.
Okay, such as?
I had to get a new distributor after the old one broke. Add new bumpers.
Okay, new bumpers. Now, where do you find bumpers for 1970 Cougars?
I was having to be at our Ford Carlisle,
Okay,
and Bumper Boys was there, and they actually had the front bumper there on display.
Ah.
And they have a program where you can trade in your old bumpers to get the new ones.
okay, makes it a
That's
lot
what I
cheaper
did.
that way too.
A lot cheaper.
Yeah. Now, and you had to carry your bumper all the way through the fairgrounds, right? These aren't light.
Lighter than you think.
Well, you're young. You're young. You can do it.
Young whippersnappers
Yeah,
can
if I
carry
was
a
there,
lot.
I'd make you carry it. So, okay. So you put new bumpers, and I do remember you saying that this is kind of unique this year. There's certain uniqueness about it. What are
It's
some
the
of the
last
things?
year for hybrid headlights.
Okay.
It's the only year with a 22-gallon gas tank.
Okay.
It's was longer than the previous years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was also the first year, I think, to come with the 351 Cleveland.
Okay. And what does this have in it? Is
It has
this
the 351 Cleveland.
okay? Mm-hmm.
5.8 big block.
Okay. Now, have you done anything to the engine itself?
And new distributor. That was
Okay.
it.
Okay. And it runs okay. I mean, you
Likes
drove
to
it
do
here. So wait, what was that?
Likes to do 80.
Don't
Okay.
admit it. Don't admit it.
Okay, no, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. So, now this is not the original paint, correct?
It was originally red.
Originally red,
Huh.
and they painted this, and it looks like that might be on your list to get it painted again.
A new paint job.
Yeah, because I see chip marks and
It's
and
bubbling
so on and
up
so-
and
But then you don't feel bad driving it, right?
yeah.
No. Yeah, a little.
Now this is a convertible. Is there a problem with like the top? I mean, how is the top on it, or is
on
it
that top goes up and down, no problem. The
Mhm.
rear window did bust
okay?
during last winter.
Okay. Now, rear window, are they glass or is that
It's
a
plastic.
Okay. And it just over the years it shattered or it just gets brittle. So, and I think you said something about the headlights on it. You had a problem with the headlights with the
Yeah,
The
the
motor on
vacuum
'em?
for the headlight covers, they leak up after you turn the car off, like now.
As we can
yeah.
see.
You getting that on camera there, huh?
and,
This is an action show. Okay.
and today I actually just got mailed the replacement motor that will make it electric, so I don't ever have to worry about that ever again.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Ah. Okay. Yep. There goes
Okay.
the other one.
So
Now, why?
go ahead.
I'm sorry. Why this car? Like, did you specifically want this car? Are we looking for?
I was looking for an old muscle car,
Okay.
and I happened to find this, looked at it, and fell in love,
Okay.
and got steel for it, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, good.
So, I mean, were you looking for any car in particular, or did you want a Mercury because
it was more any car in particular. There were certain cars I liked more than others.
Mm-hmm.
I actually didn't even know Mercury Cougars existed until then.
Okay. Because, you don't see Mercury Cougars a lot. I mean, you were at Ford's of Carlisle, okay, and there's, what, 3,000 Fords there, Ford products?
Over 3,500 last year.
Okay. How many
Wow.
Cougars were there?
10.
Yeah, okay. I figured you were
Wow.
counting it just then. Let's see, I saw there was a green one, and there's a blue one, and yeah.
3 of the other convertibles, this was the only 1970.
Okay.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. I have another question. How hard would it be to get a replacement part like for this? I can see it pitting and such. Are they like real hard to get? I mean, they don't make new
There's
ones of
one
these.
place I can think of to get them, West Coast Classic Cougar, and it's not cheap. And
Okay.
that's if they have it in stock, because they pull off of the old car, other
Okay.
old cars.
Mhm.
So
hood
it's not a
itself
reproduction piece.
I haven't been able to find a reproduction, and if you're trying to find a hood, you're screwed.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it has this tooth here, and
Okay.
it was only a year with that.
Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So you say it does 80, or you heard about that, right? Yeah, you read it in
Rumored.
magazines.
It's
so, yeah.
rumored to do 80.
So,
yeah.
so pretty good cruiser though. I mean, you live about what, 10 miles, 15 miles from here?
Yeah, 10 minutes away.
Okay, 10 minutes. All right. So, good driving down the country
Very
or the
comfy.
highway.
was a luxury car back then, and I could hit a pothole and not break my back.
Okay, okay.
That's a good thing in Pennsylvania.
So aside from the paint, what you have any other plans for this?
I'm gonna get a Cobra Jet shaker,
Okay,
and I'm gonna make it look like a Eliminator convertible, even though they didn't come from the factory like that.
okay,
And it's gonna be a Purple Heart is the color I found that I'm gonna be painted in.
okay.
It's
What was the color?
Purple Heart,
Purple Heart. Okay, what color is Purple Heart? I mean,
a
that's
very deep metallic purple.
okay,
It's pretty pearlescent.
okay. So that'd be cool. With the what color roof do you have?
It's a white top, and
Okay.
I'm gonna get the white striping that Eliminators had.
Okay. Keep the black interior, so it'd be black, white, and maroon, deep purple. So, okay, cool. Well, thanks for having the car.
Thank you for having me on.
Appreciate it. Yep, and see you at Dorier Day. Am I right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to. You're volunteering, probably.
We'll
Right?
rope him into doing some kind of work.
Well, you bring your car. We'll make sure you do less work.
Yeah.
Here, we'll get
Yeah,
you
that's
out,
right.
So,
A little bit of a deal.
yeah. Okay. Great. All right. Thanks again.
Thanks. Hey, well, now we're back in the Reading Diner, and we have another out-of-state guest,
Yes.
don't we?
Yes.
We're continuing the trend.
Yes.
This is, I'm sorry, say your name again for me.
Maribeth.
Maribeth. That's so pretty, but I don't want to missay it. And you're here from our neighbors in New Jersey. Welcome, and Maribeth, you have a car too that you've been working on. Can you tell us a little bit about it? And we'll just keep asking you questions, I'm
Right.
sure.
It's not mine. It's a car that my uncle bought with my grandpa, and they were restoring it before he died. And so it's like passed down, and now my uncle's restoring it with me. And so I spent a lot of time it's a '69 Mustang Coupe.
Oh.
It's in bad shape, but like we love it. It's like a work of art.
Uh-huh.
It's so much fun.
And you say bad shape, and I'm sure it's not that bad. But you didn't drive it here tonight because
No.
it's not driving yet.
No, it's not
That's
ready.
okay. It's a work in progress. Yeah.
And now I've talked to you about this car before, and actually, to be honest with you, I talked to you. It was over a year ago about this, and it was because of that we thought up this show. And if you've noticed the show, we're having young people working on cars, and there's a big discussion in the car hobby that young people aren't interested in cars, and we're in a way maybe not disproving them, but there are young people in cars. And we had the Cobra earlier. It was a father-son thing. Then we had Ethan with his car that he got when he was 15. And now you're working on this with your uncle. And did he try to convince you, hey, come on, niece, you got to work on this?
How much
with
arm
me?
twisting did he have to do?
Or did you approach him about working on it?
Actually, I have 3 siblings. So all of us, I know for me it was, I think before I turned 8, he had us out there manual welding. He taught us how to manual weld, and that's how it kind of all started for us.
Mm-hmm.
And from over the years, there's a ton of, I have a ton of cousins, and he's tried us all with welding, and he's wanted us all to do something with him. And out of all the boys, I was the only girl that actually stuck with it. And so he just spent a lot of years just teaching me stuff, and it's gone from little welding a box together to now I'm doing quarter panels and I'm cutting out tail panels. So it's great.
Cool.
That is really neat. And I've seen pictures of the car, and it was a lot of work, but
Yeah.
it goes back to, you said it was something that your uncle and grandfather were working on, and so this is kind of continuing the legacy, and it's probably kind of pretty good memories for you already, and you still got a lot of work to go. So you said you learned how to weld, and now you're putting quarter panels on. What other kind of things did you learn?
He taught me how to paint. That's
Paint.
one of the things I fell in love with was
Okay. Really?
auto painting. Yeah.
That's different, and it's different because you think of that's more of a male thing, and so I think it's pretty neat, and doesn't necessarily have to be male, female. It's everybody. So
Now I know you have some photos, so you'll be looking at some images of the car you'll see on your screen. Like what was maybe like the first thing you kind of started to work on the car?
The very first thing I did was he wanted to teach me. He said it's a lost trade, but hammer and dollying.
Wow.
So he took, the gravel guard was a mess. So it was completely like dented everywhere, and he took it and he put it out one day and he's like, straighten it out. And he gave me like 2 boxes of different sets. And now the thing is like completely straight. It still looks like dented and stuff because we got to paint it and fill, but yeah, like that's the first trade that I learned.
Wow.
And it was so much, like it was a lot of work. It took me like 2 hours, I think, but it really paid off and it looks beautiful now.
Cool.
So
I've never seen anybody do that, but I've watched videos where they're doing it, and they make it look pretty easy.
it's not.
But I realized what's going on, and you have this crumpled piece of metal, and they smooth it out, and a lot of little, it's like tedious, I guess, right? That'd be a good word. So, So.
Now we had people with the Cobra. The one was like the detail guy, and one was the kind of hurry up and let's get it done, keep us on track.
Right.
Are you one of those types, do you think?
I mean, it's very hard for us to find time to do it because we both work.
Yeah.
But whenever like we have a day, like we'll start it and it'll be like 6 hours later. We'll be like, what happened? We'll just still be going. Like I don't think either of us are very like rushed about it.
Yeah.
Because we both love to do it, and it's kind of just time where we just focus on the car and nothing else. It's like relaxing.
Yeah.
We both, it's not really a rush to get done.
Yeah.
So, okay, that's neat. Now I got to tell our viewers this, and I should have told you this before we went on air, but I've known Mary Beth's family. I mean, I know her mom, her grandparents, her great-grandparents I knew, and it's kind of interesting. And I was talking to my dad yesterday because my dad knows the family too. Okay, we kind of all grew up together and stuff. And my dad, I asked my dad something. I says, "Is it true that you, my dad, worked on an engine with Mickey, who is her grandfather?" And he was telling me they're out in front of your great-grandparents' house. There's a big tree with a limb coming out, and they had to pull the engine out of a 36 Ford, and they used the limb with rope, block, and tackle and everything. He was telling me about this yesterday, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I remember standing there. I was just a little kid, about 10, 11 years old, and thinking about my dad doing this back in the 40s. And now another thing about my dad is your grandfather was the one who introduced my dad to my mother way back when. So we go way back. So, I mean, that's obviously before you, before I was around too. But, so I've known these guys all my life. Not you, but whatever. So I thought that was pretty neat. But when I talked to you last year about that car and you were showing me this, I thought, boy, that is interesting. And so I'm glad you could bring it. So again, this is a Mustang you're working on. So I guess if you need parts for it, they probably make almost brand new Mustangs of that 69 Mustangs, like all the sheet metal.
Yeah.
Or does your uncle say, no, I'm going to teach you this stuff, and you have to take a hammer and dolly and straighten everything? Or is it 50-50?
Well, he actually has a lot of the parts. Like we have 2 new doors that he found at junkyards.
Right.
So they're from the original car.
Mm-hmm.
And then a lot of the stuff, like when we took out the tail panel, we cut it out and messed it up. And he's like, you know what? We'll just use a sheet metal brake and we'll just make a new one.
From just a regular
Yep.
sheet?
So apparently we're gonna do that.
Well, you see, and that's an art form there.
Yeah.
Because you can go, I know there's companies, and I'm not going to mention Dynacore or Dynacorn on TV,
Yeah,
but
please
I just
don't.
did. But you can buy a whole new body, brand new, of a 69 Mustang, or maybe 67, well, whatever. And there's brand new stuff here, but you're doing it the old-fashioned way, and I think that's neat.
They are not taking the easy way out.
So I'm also gonna you're off the hook. You don't have to bring the car to Duryea Day, okay?
We understand.
But you can come, you can bring pictures and just stand there and so what do you think, huh?
I think that'll work. We'll
Yeah,
find her a
it'll
nice
work.
shady area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shade at the park.
I'll blow it up, make it life size.
Okay, perfect.
So
See?
there we go. I heard. Did you hear that?
I know. There.
Okay, you hear
She's
that,
committed now.
Gus? Yeah, see, Gus is probably going to be there with this camera too. So,
What did we forget to ask you that you think is important to tell us? Did we forget
when's it going to be
anything?
done? No, you don't have to answer that. So,
The fun is in the journey.
yeah. So, and you live fairly close to your uncle, so you don't have to really travel a long distance to work on it.
No, in the beginning, I used to ride my bike over
Oh, okay.
in the summer.
Okay, yeah. Because I think sometimes that can be a deterrent to working on it. It's like, yeah, it's over there, and I'm not going to do it. So,
Is it any of your cousins are working on it, or nope? They
It's
kind of.
just me.
you and your uncle.
You go.
Okay.
That's awesome.
All right. I was hoping your uncle would be here, so he'll watch us on TV. So I'll probably get a letter from him now. Says, why'd you say this? So, okay. Great.
Awesome.
Thanks for having.
Yeah.
being
Thanks
on
for
the
coming
show.
on.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so a few months ago, I think 2 episodes ago, we had kind of the Corvette show.
The Corvette show.
Yeah.
Yes.
And-
Award-winning.
And we talked about a Corvette barn find in 1956.
Correct.
And there's a photo of it from when we talked about it last time. Well, we got a little bit of an update this
Yep,
month.
yep.
And the owner, Mark, is joining us again on the phone. Hey, Mark.
Hi, Kendra. Hi, Dano.
Hi, Mark.
And Mark, you sent us some more photos of the car, kind of like what you've done to it so far. So we're going to take a peek here. And the first one, always the first step, cleaning it, right?
Oh, yeah, we took it out for its first bath in about 43 years.
Okay.
Oh, my.
It took a while. We got all the dirt off it finally to see what was underneath the dirt.
And
We
did
didn't
you?
know what we were gonna find, but actually, I'm quite pleased with what we did find under it.
So you didn't find much stuff under that, and so it looks pretty good. I'm looking at it and it looks shiny, but I figure, well, it might be wet too, and that's always shiny. But then we also have pictures of it sitting in the garage after you're done, and the finish of it looks pretty good.
Yeah, like to say, I was surprised. There's a few spots on it, like the driver's side door. It looks like somebody ran a lawnmower by and blew rocks on the side of it. Chipped all the paint off the door.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have a real good picture of that.
Okay.
But it's not too bad for, sitting around all those years. We were really surprised
And-
when Denny and I washed it up. And I don't know which picture you're looking at right now, but if the one inside the barn there, they look pretty good.
Yes.
It looks really good.
Compared to what it looked like pulling it out of the barn, you know?
Yeah, hey, just a bath did a lot.
And I know.
We decided let's go ahead and throw the seats and hubcaps in it just so we could see what we really had. And like I said, we were quite surprised.
Tell me.
We took the key, and every lock and everything works. After sitting there all those years,
Wow.
the door locks, the glove box, the trunk locks, even the ignition key works. So that was quite amazing. And most of the cables and stuff for the heaters and stuff all work. So we had to put a little lubricant on them, but you pull them and stuff, and they work. So it's quite amazing how good the car was after all those years.
Now tell me, Mark, the seats were not in it when you got it, and tell me where were they again?
Well, he had those wrapped in plastic. They were in the barn, but they were put up on a shelf somewhere else. And there's a few spots on them that someday will get redone. But for now, they're really in very good shape for something that old.
Right.
I guess he decided to take them out because the critters would get into them or something, which they probably would have if they were in there, you know.
Wow. Well, they were in the same garage as the rest of the car, the seats.
Well, there's another part of the garage that I think they were in and out of quite a bit.
Okay.
And so he had them in there with the hubcaps. So that's why the hubcaps and the seats were in such good shape. So, like I said, he had them all wrapped up and tucked away. So we just decided one day, let's just throw them in there for the heck of it and just see what we got. And boy, with the seats in there, it's like a whole different animal, you know?
Right.
Oh yeah.
Right. So now, what's your next step you're taking here?
Well, the next step we're taking is we're going to take the body off the car. So we have, it's at April Roland Adams. He explained how to take the bodies off, and it's like a 72-part thing you have to go through to prepare the car to take the body off.
Okay.
And then we're going to go step by step, and however long it takes. And we're going to take the body off the car and then start working on the underside of it.
Wow.
The framework that we need to do, and I want to pull the engine out. Like you said, we're going to have that redone, and going to inspect the transmission and the rear end and do brake lines and stuff like that, you know.
So again, your goal is to get it here for Duryea Day, right?
Duryea Day
You
2018.
never see that here, that's good.
Yeah. So.
Hershey.
It would come down like a model this year, I think, like in a box of pieces.
Well, I think I've mentioned to you before that if you want to, you can come down to Duryea Day with pictures of it, and you can stand in your spot at the show.
Yeah, he can stand right next to Maribeth.
Yeah.
With her pictures.
So.
Yeah, we can just do that. Just have a big thing of pictures and say, here's my car, enjoy it.
Yeah. And we'll show a film clip of us talking to you on the phone. That would be fun.
There you go. That'll dazzle the people.
Hey, I have to say that the garage that we're seeing this car parked in now is worlds better than where it was. So that alone is going to help you quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, well, that's where I do a lot of work on stuff there. So there was one picture, you probably can't see it, maybe it's the old 52 pickup is in pieces that's sitting right next to it. I don't think it shows up on any of the pictures. But anyway, it's got company sitting there in the barn now, so.
I don't know. Is that it? I think we might have the wheel of something in one photo.
Do you have a wheel or something? Okay, well, that's what that is anyway. But that's kind of taking a back seat down in the Corvette.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it won't be forgotten.
No, well, the car looks great. It really does. It's amazing.
Yeah, we were really pleased when we cleaned it
Should
all up.
be.
Denny, takes all the pictures and stuff, and he's as excited about this as I am, and we have a good time just working on it, and we were very pleased once we got it all cleaned up and stuff to see actually what we do have. So it's looking pretty good right now, just the way she sits,
Oh yeah.
My goal is to get the undercarriage and the running gear and everything all done, and then put the body and stuff back on. Then we're going to drive it. The body and stuff can, someday down the road, we can work on the body and the interior and stuff. The body interior, as far as I'm concerned, is good enough to drive.
Oh yeah. I think
so
after
just
he
enjoy it the way it is for a while.
after he goes through the 72-step process, we should have him on
Right.
again.
Right.
You want me to do that for each step, do you? That'd be a lot of.
Yeah.
But Denny's good with the pictures, so there'll be plenty of pictures with the thing coming apart and stuff.
Good.
Awesome.
So-
Yeah, so we're trying to, keep catalog as much as we can with pictures and stuff, and just keep track of what we're doing.
Good.
Good.
It's a good story. I like
It
the whole story here, and I'm glad you're willing to do this and come on tonight, and maybe in another couple months we'll have you on again and see where you are there, or maybe 3 months, and we'll see what goes on.
Well, I'm hoping by then, like I say, we'll see how it goes, but I'm hoping to have the body off by then,
Okay.
or be well into it anyways, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But it's fun. Unfortunately, there's a lot of other things that have to go on in life, as you well know, and we just work on it when we can. So the beauty of it is it's always there waiting for us when we want to go work on it.
Okay. Well, thanks again for being on, and we're about the end of the show.
Okay?
And see you at the Farmer's Wife restaurant in 102 days.
Well, I'll probably see you before that. We're talking about coming down for Duryea Day and
Oh,
see what we
awesome.
got down there.
Right. Well, I had to stick our Hershey thing in there somehow.
Oh, I know that. You got to get that Hershey thing in there. So I enjoyed your truck show with Pete, by the way.
Oh.
Unfortunately, I didn't get home in time to call in, or I would have loved to.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
Well, thanks, Mark. We'll be checking in with you again.
Okay, Kendra, I'll be here anytime you want to call.
Yep.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right, guys, we'll be talking to you.
Yep.
Cool. We got an update on our Corvette. And I think that's our show this month, isn't it?
I think it is.
Wow.
I think it is.
Lots of different cars tonight.
A lot
Hit
of
a
different
lot.
cars, a lot of interesting story about youth and
Yeah.
working on. I mean, Mark's not a youth, but but the other ones did. So, and to clarify that, I guess. So.
But it's neat because we get that too, even with the museum. Getting young people interested.
Yep.
So it's neat to see interest in doing some of the trades that had to go on.
Absolutely.
That was neat.
That was real good. So.
Well, I guess that's our show. So until next month, please visit us at the museum at 85 South Walnut Street, or check out our website, BoyertownMuseum.org, and we'll see you in August.
Okay. Bye.
Well, Dan, I'm sure you knew that we had a gift shop.
Oh yes, I do know.
Yes, but maybe our viewers at home do not know. But we've got lots of stuff for sale here. Please, if you're looking for like an automotive gift, something with our logo, a past Duryea Day item, those especially, what I last mentioned, the Duryea Day items, those are really pretty good, well marked down too. So you'll find some good deals here. These are from past Duryea days, especially those glasses. They're really nice because they're nice heavy duty glasses. I know I break glasses all the time at home, even just putting them in the dishwasher. These are really nice and heavy duty. We also got lots of stuff with our logo on them. We got nice shirts, sweatshirts, hats, thermoses, coffee mugs, the travel mugs, and also very popular are diner mugs. If you come here for Diner Day, you've been here in the past, you've probably seen us selling those diner mugs. Well, they're not just for sale on Diner Day, they're for sale all the time. And they're really neat. So, come here for that. Postcards, other car stuff like puzzles, if you've got someone you're looking to buy a gift for, automotive, please stop in. And our stuff is really reasonably priced too. So you can't really complain about that.
I have some shirts, and I wear them proudly. Got some hats. I proudly wear that at Hershey.
Yeah.
Make sure people know where I'm from. So.
And we can find you easier.
Well, yeah. So if that's the case, we should have bright green ones.
Have some camo ones.
Yeah.
Camo hats.
But
That
everybody
makes you
else
blend
wears
in.
camo hats. So.
Well. But we've got lots of stuff here. So please, if you're looking for something, a gift for somebody or for yourself, don't forget us. And if you're a member of the museum, you do get a discount on your gift shop purchases. That's another thing. We do have membership levels. They're very reasonable. Individual memberships start at $25. That's a really great value. Members get a quarterly newsletter, and that covers a little bit of everything that goes on here, some history, upcoming events, photos and details from past events. It's good, right? You like the newsletter?
It is, yeah. Especially when I've
Good
contributed to it.
Especially your articles. Dan and I will both contribute stuff to the newsletter at times. And members also get into the museum free as many times as you want during the year. And that's a great value. You can come to Diner Day, both Diner Days, and not pay the admission, that means. And we have so many great events coming up this year that membership would come in handy. So, and if you're an individual, come to the museum 5 times, you might as well just buy a membership.
Right.
And then you'll get the newsletter.
Because, and I've noticed in the past couple years that we've kind of ramped up the membership benefits, about having free events and stuff for the members, and so that's pretty good.
It's a great value. So if you have any questions about any of this, the membership, stuff for sale in the gift shop, come visit us here at 85 South Walnut Street, or call us at 610-367-2090, and we'd love to hear from you.